Unlike previous royal funerals where thousands of people lined the route, coronavirus restrictions meant the public was excluded, the ceremony being performed within the walls of Windsor Castle. And from start to finish the procession went without a hitch. The Duke of Edinburgh's coffin had been placed in the Queen's private chapel but was moved to the inner hall ahead of the ceremony by members of the Queen's Company, 1st Battalion Grenadier Guards. Members from all three services along with the household cavalry and the foot guards had gathered to line the route from the inner hall to St. George's Chapel where the service was held. As the Duke's custom-built Land Rover hearse arrived in the quadrangle, guards bowed their heads and pointed their rifles at the ground. Then the military band, drawn from all three services, played I Vow to Thee My Country, Supreme Sacrifice, Jerusalem, Isle of Beauty, and finally Elgar's Nimrod. In silence the Guard of Honor presented arms while officers saluted. 8 guardsmen, without the usual bearskins but wearing face masks, carried out the coffin as those from the royal family walking in the procession took up their positions behind the hearse. The coffin, adorned with the Duke's personal standard, a specially engraved sword presented to him by King George VI on his marriage to the then Princess Elizabeth 73 years ago, his naval cap and a wreath of white flowers, was carefully placed on the hearse. The national anthem announced the arrival of the Queen who was accompanied by her lady-in-waiting in the royal Bentley. She poignantly paused for a moment of reflection. After a lifetime of being 2 steps behind Her Majesty, for the first and last time Prince Philip took precedence as the Queen brought up the rear of the procession. With Beethoven's dramatic funeral marches playing, the firing of a round and the curfew tower bell tolling every minute as a backdrop, the procession, which was timed to take 8 minutes, set off. The hearse was flanked by the service chiefs and passed the Duke's favourite driving carriage pulled by his 2 trusty black fell ponies, Balmoral Nevis and Not Law Storm, as it made its way past the round tower and down towards St. George's Chapel. Once the procession reached the 15th-century chapel, the Queen alighted from the Bentley and was greeted by the Dean of Windsor and joined by other mourners including the Duchess of Cornwall, the Duchess of Cambridge and the Countess of Wessex. As the royal party entered the chapel they put on face masks before taking their seats. The Queen and Kate were already wearing theirs. The band of the Grenadier Guards stopped playing as the procession carried on into Horseshoe Cloisters, stopping at the foot of the West Steps. A Royal Navy piping party piped the still when the Land Rover came to a halt and then the side ahead of the National Minute's silence at 3 p.m. An artillery round sounded its start with the pallbearers and royal party pausing before the Duke's coffin entered the chapel. Then, as the doors closed, the piping party piped Carry On.